Hello everyone. Today we are going to start a new topic. We are going to be working with graphing quadratics in standard form. Standard form looks a little different than vertex. It looks like this, which you may recognize from when we were factoring. We used that form, and we talked about naming the A, B, and C. Excuse me. We are going to name the A, B, and C again in these problems here. So this would be my A, my B, my C. So step one is to name those. My A here is 1. My B is -4. My C is 1. Because my A is a +1, that means that it opens up. And because it opens up, that means I have a minimum. Okay. I do need to find the axis of symmetry. The way I find that is the formula x equals -b over 2a. Okay, so I'm going to plug in -b, which you'll see there's a negative in the equation, and then I'm plugging in a negative number. And then 2 times a, my a is 1. Now, a negative and a negative changes to a positive, so I'm left with 4 over 2, which 4 divided by 2 is 2. So your axis of symmetry is x equals 2. Okay, that's important. That means that 2 is also the x value of your vertex. To find the y value, we have to plug the x value into the equation. That's how we find our y value. So this original equation up here, I'm just going to plug in 2 for x. It's 2 squared minus 4 times 2 plus 1. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 minus 8 is -4, plus 1 is -3. So your vertex is 2, -3. The other thing we can find is our y-intercept, which is always our c value. Our c value is a 1, so my y-intercept is 0, 1. Excuse me one sec. Okay. I now have a few different points I can graph. I can graph my vertex and my axis symmetry. So 2, I'm going to zoom in a little here on the graph so you can see it. 2, -3 is my vertex. That's also my axis symmetry, so I can put that dotted line. And I also know the y-intercept is 1, so that means wherever my y-axis is, I can put a dot on 1. Now, this is a parabola, so you can now create the mirror image. That mirror image is going to help you make that third point. So this point's 2 away from the axis symmetry, so I can go 2 away in the other direction. There's my graph. Okay, let's do one more example together. Let's do this one. So first we're going to name our A, B, and C. My A here is -1, my B is 2, and my C is -1. Because my A is negative, that means this is going to open down like that. Okay. Also, because of that, that means if it's facing down, I have a maximum. That's a maximum at the top. Okay. Now I need to find my axis of symmetry. Okay. So I'm going to do this down here to solve. I'm going to do x equals -b over 2a. My -b, that's -2, over 2 times a is -1. So that gives me -2 over -2, which is a +1. So my axis symmetry is x equals 1. Now for my vertex, that means 1 is the x value. I need to find the y value. Once I find it, I'll have my vertex. in order to find the y value, I got to plug in this 1 in the equation. So this is the equation. I'm going to plug in a 1 for x. Notice that I put a parentheses around that 1. That's because this negative is out front. That's not what's being squared. Okay, so 1 squared is 1, but then you have to put that negative in front of it. That's very important. Then I get 2 and minus 1. So negative 1 plus 2, that gives me positive 1. Minus 1 is going to be 0. So your vertex is 1, 0. Your c value or your y-intercept here is 0, whatever the c value is, which is negative 1. So now I'm going to plot my vertex 1, 0. And that's also my axis of symmetry, so I can put my dotted line. And I also know the y-intercept's negative 1. Now I'm going to use that mirror image to plot one more point. That one point is going to be, this is 1 away from the axis of symmetry, so I'm going to go 1 away in the other direction. Okay, that's what my graph would look like. All right, if you have any questions with this, please let me know. I will be on video chat on Wednesday from 11 to 12. Okay, thank you. Have a great day.